Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the battery life of the LG K20 Plus. So let's begin. So I have been testing the battery life for a little bit now, and I have to say that it is thumbs up in my end. It is great. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. It's a 2700 milliamp hour battery, which should last you all day, for sure. And here is how I use the battery myself. I make calls on the thing. Then throughout the day, I also watch a couple YouTube videos. I text people. I browse the web. I take pictures. Whatever else you're supposed to do on any smartphone, really. And with this comes just great battery life. So since the phone is manufactured by LG, the battery life on LG phones is excellent. This has a 5.3-inch HD 720p screen, 27p screen, so the battery life is going to be great. I haven't found anything wrong with the battery life. I last maybe the whole day on it, so I get around, this is normal for all phones anymore, I go down to battery, and I get about, battery usage, I get about screen on time for 4 to 5 hours of screen on time. And that is great because I'm on Wi-Fi, I have Bluetooth connected to my smartwatch all the time. So in terms of connected to smartwatch wise, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It doesn't drain any battery life as much as any other phone I've ever used with this smartwatch before. So in terms of it lasting all day, that is great. Like, I last on the phone sometimes for an hour and a half at a time. And for me, the battery life has just been great. I haven't found anything wrong. Now, if you're talking about in terms of just using it throughout the day and then just texting people, maybe because that's what you do because you're a teenager and you text people on the phone all the time. So if that's your thing to do and you text people on the phone all the time, this phone can last you a whole day, coming back, waking up, let's say I wake up at 5 in the morning. So my tests start at 5 in the morning. So after 5 in the morning, literally, the phone's unplugged, I pick it up, I look what notifications I got throughout the night, because I do get a ton of notifications throughout the night. And then I ask my Amazon Echo Dot what the weather is. Then if I really want the full forecast for the day, I open up my phone. I'm like, I go through, I look for the I look for the app for weather that I have that shows me the full day's worth of weather. Then what I do is after I wake up, I go through with my day of doing whatever I do. But then when I use my phone next, I use it because I use public transportation for everything I do. So I get out of my house, I go over to the bus stop near my place, and I open up my phone again. Now, I open up my phone, and as I just got another notification, but I open up my phone, and I go onto the app that I need for the bus ticket. I get the bus ticket. I show the driver whatever I need to do that. Then I lock the phone, I put it in my pocket. I get notifications throughout my bus ride, and I look at the notifications, I glance back and forth at my phone, play maybe a game or two, and that brings it down to, let's say, 98% around, approximately 98%. These aren't actual numbers, this is just approximation. So it brings it down to about 98%. And then once that happens, I get into college, and in college I put the phone in my pocket, I get into class, and I just don't use my phone for like another half an hour, 45 minutes. Once class is over, I check all my messages, I reply to people, and if someone called me, I call them back. that can last for an hour or 30 minutes to an hour there. So that's that type of phone call there. Then I play a game, then I go on to my next class, and in my next class, I just go about putting my phone back in my pocket, sliding it back in, going about my day again with just for another hour and 15 minutes, I don't use my phone. Then, after that hour and 15 minutes is up, I go back to my phone, look at all the notifications, reply to people's texts, call people if they call me, and those calls can last an hour or two. And once I'm done with all that, my battery is about 90%. This is all approximation, it's about 90% at that point. So, once it gets to 90%, I don't plug it in or anything. I let it sit there because I'm on my lunch break, so I have the Z Max Pro, which I use for a good amount of some playing games because they have different games that you can play. Different games, I like the bigger screen for the games. But I set it down. I watch some YouTube videos, catch up on whatever happened throughout throughout that morning, with YouTube video wise. From whatever videos I watch maybe 3 videos, and then I just go about making phone calls for a while, and because I do that, I text a ton of people, and I make some phone calls, which can also last about an hour or two, 30 minutes to 2 hours. And once those phone calls are up, I'm down to about 50% worth of battery, and that can last from about 12:15 to like 4 o'clock at night. So going down to 50% from there is excellent battery life, especially making calls, texting people, watching YouTube videos, and the whatnot. So once I actually do get all that done, I go on to my last class, which it is late at night, but it's what I do because I like what I do. So I go on to my last class, and in my last class I don't use my phone, and once I'm done with my class I go back to my phone. It's at 49%, so for another hour it goes down 1%. Then what I do is I show the man again another ticket on my phone. That doesn't use up any battery, but once I get to the phone though, I take it and I use up on the bus maybe 5% of my battery life or so. So that takes me to about 44% battery life left. Then I get back to my house, it's about 9:30 at night from everything I'm doing, and my battery life is around 40 to 44%. And I don't have to plug it in. Then around 11 o'clock, after I'm done using my phone for a long time and I'm ready to go to bed and stuff, or when I'm getting settled to go to bed really, I set my phone down to charge at 20% because I use it a lot during that time. But all in all, from what I use it, that's how I use my phone, so you know how I test my battery life. That took a long time to talk about, but this is how I test my battery life. So all in all, it's good. There is a nice feature built into the LG phones. It's built into all phones, but specifically LG is what I want to talk about, because LG, if you want great battery life, let's say you're not around the charger and your phone's at 50%. And you're not going to be using your phone for much anyway because you're not around the charger, so what you do is you turn on battery saver, because most normal people would think to do that. So with the inclusion of battery saver on the LG phones, even though all phones have it, but on the LG phone specifically, the battery saver is excellent, excellent, excellent. Like, I, on my bus ride, have 15% left, let's say, because I use it so much during the day that it just drains to 15%. So the battery saver goes on by the time I get on the bus. I get back to my apartment, and I've been using it like a beast constantly, and it's down to 10%. So it only lasts 5%. Battery life, if you're trying to save battery, you don't care about getting like the best performance out of it, so you just want battery life. you should pick up the LG devices. Doesn't matter how much it is if you're just looking for battery life, because if you turn on battery saver at 100%, you can literally last, I would say, 2 days on texting and calling worth of usage. I would say myself, I've sat for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes on a call on battery saver, and I lost 1% worth of battery. I sat for an hour and a half, I lost 2% worth of battery. It's great. Texting doesn't use much battery life if you're on battery saver. So in terms of battery saver, it has a great battery saver. So also this device, if you're looking for something that really does charge fast, it doesn't have fast charging, so you're not going to get that capability. But if you're looking for something that charges pretty fast and you just want something for that, then I say pick up one of these, because you get a great charge, it works well, the battery saver is nice, so it does work well, and it just charges pretty fast. So I can go from 5% battery life to 20% battery life in maybe less than half an hour, and it just works. So if you're looking for something with a great battery life, any LG would work, but I recommend the LG K20 because of its performance too. So if you did like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. As always, just social media is down below if you want to follow me. Hit that bell icon. Also, I opened up a Patreon if you want to donate to my channel to sponsor more content, more phones and stuff. And just as always, just enjoy the rest of your day.